Levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. Yo levantaré mi bandera, wow. Levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. No, no, y es que hay mucho sentimiento, lo grito al viento, de ser latino nunca me arrepiento. Lo digo desde la Suiza, centroamericana, rebota en Colombia y en Dominicana y yo.
Hey guys, it's the Latin Babbler. I have a special edition that we are presenting. It's called I Choose to Be Healthy. It is a 6-week small series. And what we're going to do is try to showcase my journey in weight loss. And I have brought the amazing team from Nutr.izzy Nutrition and Wellness LLC, a family-owned business where they strive to support clients in their efforts to achieve optimal health and wellness for better living. We have Izell Munoz, which is a registered dietitian nutritionist, and Ryan Munoz, who is a wellness coordinator. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. We're happy to be here. We're excited to support you in your journey and get the message out to our community.
Yeah, so we're going to be actually doing something interesting. When we spoke aside, one of the main reasons I'm having these episodes, and we're going to put them out there, is because I kind of want to break the stigma that for whatever reason men can't be completely honest with themselves and completely open with everything that's going on in their lives. And a lot of people are actually going through this weight loss struggle, especially in the Latino community. You see it as a joke sometimes in Christmas time and Thanksgiving time. And so for me, I've been struggling with weight loss for, practically 14 to 15 years of the level that I am now, considered clinically obese for those people who are interested in knowing. And that means that I'm at risk of a lot of different issues, whether there's diabetes, heart disease, things of that nature. And so I decided I was going to bring in the professionals. I've tried, I've tried different programs before, and I feel like the bad boyfriend that's always sitting there going, it's definitely not you, it's me. So, because I haven't had much success on my side from a personal standpoint, but I figured, you know what, let me get a licensed company, a licensed nutritionist to kind of help me out this time. And we're just going to be completely raw, completely open. My life is going to be an open book for everybody who's listening to these episodes. And hopefully something that goes on through these segments is something that you guys can relate to, and something that personally maybe you guys can try to adjust in your own lives. Now, mind you, we're also doing this because, look, they have an awesome program. I've decided to go with the 6-week program. If you guys are interested, immediately after the shows, go ahead and sign up. You can we'll provide all the information to you at the end of these segments. And 6 weeks, today is the assessment, right, guys?
Correct. Yes. So we're going to be doing a nutrition assessment and a wellness assessment. And basically the nutrition assessment, that's used to capture one's medical, physical, and family history. Some of the questions might be a little bit intrusive. However, they're just used so that we can have a comprehensive background and we're able to develop an individualized plan for you. And so some of the questions you might notice are a little bit similar in the nutrition and the wellness assessment. But again, we're asking them for totally different reasons.
And that's fine. And I've already, we spoke off the air. I've already, I know there's a lot of HIPAA laws and things like that on things that people can and can't talk about. I have actually withdrawn all of that. So all of our conversations are available to be have during these segments with no fear of saying anything that's too personal.
Yes.
With the exception of one, but we're not going to mention it out loud.
Yeah. So before we begin, Rafa, I know that we have a little guest here with us. This is our daughter, Aria. And as you mentioned, we are a family-owned business, and this is who we do it for. We got a baby coming on the way, a beautiful baby boy expected in April. So Aria, did you want to say something?
Yes. Remember to eat your vegetables and drink water.
Oh, okay. So see, because she said it now, It's an automatic because I'll be letting her down now if I don't do it. So
Yeah.
way to put me on the spot.
Think of Aria. Okay. So she just wanted to say hello because she's a big part of our business. She helps us. She actually designed our shirts, helped us go to all the meetings and whatnot. So she's going to exit now so we can get to what we need to get to today. But go ahead and say bye.
Wait, if she's the one that made all those decisions, should I be speaking to her instead of you guys? She's the business president. We just didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the assessment. It is quite a bit of questions. So I'm just going to go through as quick as I can. So let's get started. So what is your age?
I'm 46.
And how tall are you?
6 feet.
All right. What is your current weight?
I currently weigh 387.
Okay. And all right. Follow this maybe. Okay. And when was the date of your last physical exam?
Like 3 years ago.
Okay. Now, do you see any specialists, any kind of practitioners?
We have not. We are actually starting that this year. So next month we'll actually be doing the physical, and doing some of the personal tests we have to do, especially for my age group.
Okay. And if you could change 3 things about your health and nutritional habits, what would they be?
My desire and my obsession for sweets and junk food. That's one, because that's a food thing. 2, I would probably have to say increase energy. I just don't have a lot of physical activity energy. Like I have a lot of work energy, but not a lot of physical activity energy. And then the 3rd one will have to be my appearance. Like I definitely want to look good. I'm taking a tour in July, and I want to make sure that my pictures don't look like just a ball taking a picture with everything else.
All right, good. And what do you feel is your biggest challenge in reaching your nutrition goals?
That's a good question. I would probably say it's motivation and probably the amount of work I do. I mean, I literally sit at this desk for probably 18 hours a day. So when I'm not doing my regular job, I'm doing the hosting. So yeah, so I sit a lot on this, and then when I have off time, I just don't have the energy to kind of push myself to go further than that, if that makes sense.
Yes, definitely. And I know you mentioned that you have worked with other nutrition coaches, but has there been any other like diets, fad diets, different behaviors that you've tried in the past that didn't work so well?
I've tried everything that I possibly could. I remember doing the Atkins diet. I remember doing the keto diet. I remember doing the shakes. So the last time I tried it, it was the shakes. And, for anybody who does these and they're successful at it, I'm not saying stop or anything like that. They just didn't work for me. So, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning because my clients are on the East Coast. So, waking up at 4:30 in the morning, trying to start eating and doing all these different things, my day's just longer. So it gives me access to things longer. And I work from home. So my fridge is like 2 different rooms away.
Well, you're not alone. That's how we all are right now.
Yeah.
This pandemic. That's
Yep.
So I'm going to ask you a scale question. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not willing at all, 5 being very willing, indicate your readiness and willingness to do the following. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how willing are you to significantly modify your diet?
Okay, so I'm going to be completely honest here because I've always been the gun-ho guy. It's like, yeah, I'm a 10. That's a lie. That's crap. To be very honest with you, I love what I eat, and so it's going to be a struggle. I would probably say that I'm about a 6 in the commitment category for that because that 4 really tastes good. So for me, I'm going to say a 6. And then, that way, people will understand that it's just not an easy thing, especially when you've been doing it for so long.
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how willing are you to keep a record of everything you eat each day?
Probably say a 4, maybe 3 or 4. Can I say 3.5? Is that a number?
We'll put it in between.
Right.
And-
So like 3.5.
Okay. How willing are you to modify your lifestyle, work demands, sleep habits, physical activity?
That's a tough one, only because of the type of lifestyle that I have. So I'm willing to do it. Whether it's possible to do it is a different story because of the amount of things we have going on. So I know my kids have mentioned that I needed to change it. My staff has mentioned that I needed to change it. Whether the schedule allows it to or not, that's a different story. But I'm willing to do what it takes. It's just a matter of whether or not my schedule allows that.
Okay. All right. And this is the past and medical or surgical history. So have you had any injuries?
I have 2 partial tears of my meniscus on both knees. Aside from that, no injuries besides, my appendix taken out, which most people have. But those are the two major injuries that I have. I unfortunately can't do anything about them because of my weight. So they don't recommend me getting the surgery. I also have arthritis on my right knee, so they don't recommend getting the surgery because it would have to clean out the knee, and they're kind of worried about that. So the ultimate solution is I have to lose weight in order to even address any of these issues.
Okay. All right. And now it's family history. So what are any concerning illnesses, disease, conditions that your family has, like your father, your mother, siblings?
Well, my father has run away from family condition. No, I'm just kidding. That's just, so everybody's like, oh, that's such a Latino thing to say. My family, for the most part, I have to say we're a little bit on the bigger side, with the exception. A lot of the males, for the most part, are very fit, but the women itself were a little bit on the heavier side. I personally am kind of different from all of the different males in my family. I don't have their metabolism, I guess. So I'd probably say that. I mean, most of my family has cancerous genes. We've had quite a few that have passed away through cancer. So,
All right. Any other like diabetes, heart conditions, anything like that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if anybody in my family has diabetes, with the exception of maybe high blood pressure. But I personally don't have that, at least not that I'm aware of. I have to get a physical again, obviously, and a dreaded colonoscopy. So I'm not looking forward to that. Yeah.
Let's see.
So when I come in the next episode talking really weird, it's because of that.
Oh, okay. Well, now we'll know. All right. So these are some of the medical symptoms. I know you mentioned some arthritis. Do you have any addictions? Anything that you would consider an addiction?
I don't have any addictions because I don't drink, I don't smoke. So for me, I don't have any problem. My addiction is probably food. I mean, that's just being legitimately, I'm addicted to food. I mean, I will eat just for eating. So if I know that it tastes good and it's there, I'm probably taking a bite.
Okay.
Sounds like a lot of Latino households.
Definitely.
Hey, look, just don't leave out seconds. It's seconds. You leave out the food, you may not wake up the next morning with the food left on the counter. So, and I'm just being honest. Look, there's a lot of people who are like that. So, for anybody who can relate, that's my addiction. I definitely like eating.
Yeah.
So too much that I had to stop cooking.
Yeah. We're trained so young too. Cómete todo en tu plato. So
Cómete todo, yeah.
It makes a difference, but you're not alone, definitely. Any bloating, gas, or indigestion when you're eating?
I don't know about I can feel like I'm bloated after I'm eating. Obviously, it's because a lot of the food probably has sodium. I'm a big guy, so I'm not gonna lie. I pass a lot of gas probably because of what I eat. I don't know if that's the same once I start eating healthier, but because of a lot, like I have to say, because of the type of food that I eat, those feelings probably do take. Like I do feel heavy after I eat certain foods and things like that.
All right. And do you suffer from any constipation or diarrhea?
No.
Good. Any feelings of anxiety, nervousness, or emotional problems?
Related to what? Weight loss or just in general?
In general.
I mean, anxiety when it comes to like what I do.
Okay.
Not to the level of like, people who have true anxiety issues. I think for me, it's more just my schedule and deadlines always approach faster than normal. So aside from that, not really.
Okay, good. Any headaches? Any heartburn? Anything like that? Acid reflux?
That I have to admit, I get head. I mean, I work at 4:30, so maybe that's what it is. I have a lot of problems sleeping. I toss and turn most of the night, and most of the people who are on my Instagram feed, they know it because they probably see the posts. But yeah, I would probably say I get a lot of headaches after like taking a nap or something like that, or throughout the day. So that's something that is definitely a problem for me.
Any sleep apnea?
That's probably what I was saying before. Yeah, I have a serious problem. I will go to sleep. I'll try to go to sleep around 9, sometimes even 8:30. And for whatever reason, I will still wake up periodically throughout the night.
Okay.
So like 12, sometimes 2, sometimes 1, then 2, then 3. I don't get like a full-blown night's sleep.
Quality. Okay.
Yeah, I don't get that REM sleep.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like any shakiness, fatigue, feel like you want to faint?
No. Fatigue, yes. Not so much of the fainting or anything of that nature, no.
Okay. And let's see. And again, this is intrusive. Any difficulty with erection or loss of libido?
No, that's not an issue. I feel like as the interview goes on, I'm like dwindling down my chances for any chance of love afterwards. There are women looking at this like, damn, he farts all the time. This guy is just terrible. We are not going to have a good date. So,
look, hey, women fart too. So, if we're being honest.
Yeah, but none of them are admitting it to thousands of followers.
All right. Any like skin conditions, rashes, skin dryness, eczema, anything?
No, I don't have any of that.
Okay. Good. Any medications or supplements that you're taking?
No, not at the moment. I mean, besides the leaves, my mom gave me probably a 30-year supply of vitamins, which I probably should start taking. Okay. I will probably send that to you guys, and then you guys can tell me what would probably be. I think the multivitamins for men's she sent me, so I can start taking those if need be. And like there's vitamin C, D, A, B, C, D. She sent everything.
We'll take a look.
Fish oil.
Okay. Good. She's ready. She's there to support you. Awesome. Yeah. Are you allergic to any foods or medications?
No, I don't have any allergies.
Good. And all right, physical activity. Are you currently engaging in any physical activity?
No. I think that this conversation is as much as physical activity as I've had in quite some time. Yesterday I walked the dog. That was about it.
Good.
But that's only because my daughter is in Bolivia now, so I felt like I needed to walk the dog.
Okay. Good. And all right, this is your daily stressors. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very low, they don't stress me out, 10 being yes, extremely. How much stress comes from work?
Pretty much all of it. Probably about 80%.
Okay. How about stress from family?
That's the other 20.
Okay.
There's nothing else. Those are the two right there.
Okay. Let's see. What helps you to unwind?
Probably movies. I would have to say the movies or travel. I mean, I don't travel as much as obviously I watch the movies, but that's kind of like my getaway is I just kind of sit down and I'll watch something that we're either reviewing or something that I was interested in watching. So
Just out of curiosity.
when I was more physically active. Oh, go ahead.
I just out of curiosity, what's your favorite movie?
Gladiator.
Nice.
Good.
That's my favorite movie of all time, and then animated is Encanto. So there you go.
Yes.
They won my heart.
They want everyone's heart.
Just don't talk about you know who.
Yeah. Well, mental health.
There we go. All right. What is your desired body weight? What is your goal weight?
I'm told that my desired body weight for my height is about 187. I've always been kind of naturally great with 190 in that area. The one time I was in the 180s, my grandmother asked me where my ass went. So that may be too skinny. But yeah, I think like 190 is probably 190, 195 is like probably my best look.
All right. And what's your highest adult weight? And when was that?
What does that mean?
The highest
adult weight.
as an adult.
400.
Okay. And how long?
405 was the biggest I was. Not too far along, recent. So probably like, 3-4 months ago.
Okay. And let's see. How often do you have a bowel movement?
Like twice a day. I don't know how, I didn't really time it, so that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Like 6 hours apart, maybe.
Okay.
6-7 hours apart.
Good. And how would you describe your stool? Would you say hard, soft, or loose?
Hard.
Okay. And let's see. Who prepares the majority of your meals?
My son, and then there's Taco Bell, McDonald's, and all those other restaurants we go to. My son, he's actually transitioned to be the chef of the house, so he's been preparing. Like yesterday, he made soup, and he's just trying out different recipes that he sees online, and like chef quality stuff. The guy's trying to. He does cook it fresh. That's the thing. Everything that he cooks like based on the recipe. So he gets all the fresh ingredients and tries to do that. With the exception of pasta, because unless you have a pasta machine, you're not making pasta at home.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, he's not trying to do all that.
Good. Does he do the shopping as well in the household?
Yes.
Shopping? Okay. Where does he usually go shopping? What grocery stores?
Really depends. So it's like Walmart, Aldi's, and sometimes Vallarta. Is that the name of the
Vallarta. Yeah,
Vallarta?
I think so. That's one.
So if you guys are listening, just advertise with us. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Every time we want like the Spanish food, we have to go there because all the other places are really expensive for produce and for meats. So.
Good. And I know you mentioned some Taco Bell. Do you guys go to sit-down restaurants? Do you use frozen meals? Anything like that?
I mean, from home, we don't really use that many frozen meals. I mean, there's obviously like the breakfast waffles and things like that. The Lego, whatever they're called, the Egos. As far as like restaurants that we sit at, like Stonefire Grill, what's it called? I think it's Hawaiian Burgers or whatever it is. I can't remember. Island Burgers, I think it's called. And I don't think we really go to many other sit-down ones.
Okay.
So we haven't really. I mean, we don't really go to many. We order out more than we do going to the sit-down ones. I'm in California. A sit down restaurant will easily cost you $150, $200. It's insane. Yeah.
Definitely.
It wasn't that way in New York. So if California's listening, get your shit together. It's expensive.
Yes, very. Let's see. Which meals do you eat regularly? Do you eat breakfast?
See, that's where the tricky part is. So I wake up at 4:30. So for me, I wake up and I immediately eat breakfast like around 4:30, but that's not technically your breakfast. It is for me. The problem is my days are just extended. So the normal person wakes up at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever time they have to get to work. And they'll eat breakfast around 7, lunch around 12, dinner around 5. And then their day ends around 10 or 11, depending on how long they want to stay up. Me personally, I wake up at 4:30. So my breakfast starts 3 to 4 hours before anybody else begins. The problem is I don't sleep at the time that people end their day from a normal hours perspective. I sleep at the same time as everybody else who's waking up at, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And so that's become an issue for me is I eat something at 4:30 and then I'll eat something at, 7 and then I'll eat something at, so that's been a huge issue for me.
Okay. All right. And let's see. Which oils do you use or consume? Do you guys use any butter, canola oil, avocado oil, olive oil, lard?
I think he uses a little bit of everything depending on what he's cooking.
Okay.
So unsalted cooking butter, I think there's vegetable oil. I think he does have some avocado oil there, some olive oil, depending on what he's making.
Okay.
That's probably something I'd have to find out from him as to which one he uses the most and then get back to you.
Okay. Now, out of your food items, how often would you say you have beef, pork, and chicken? Would you say daily, weekly, or occasionally in the month?
We're having some type of protein every day. Whether it's through the junk food or not, there's always some type of meat that's on there. Very few times do we not have some type of meat attached to it.
Perfect. Do you guys eat beans, peanut butter, tofu?
No tofu. It's been banned in this house.
Okay.
So if I wanted to eat my sponge, there's quite a few of them. The peanut butter normally done in like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something like that. We don't eat it that often, maybe once or twice a week. I can't remember the first one you mentioned. Beans, probably once or twice a week.
Okay, good.
So because he cooks very Americanized, or you're talking about like the soup that we made probably was the most Latino thing. He has like chicken parm, things like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. What do you usually drink on most days? What kind of beverages?
Apple juice and a lot of diet soda.
Okay. Any water?
When it fits in the schedule.
Okay.
It's my biggest fault. I should be drinking a ton of water. The last person who worked with me, and she told me I should be drinking a lot of water. I just don't like the taste of water, and I hate it when it's lukewarm, and it's always lukewarm in this house. So it's like I just don't even bother with it. I've tried, putting lemon and cucumber in it to kind of like create some type of cocktail for like a detox drink and so forth. I don't mind it. It's just a constant having to refresh it and, replenish it. Yeah. And I don't want to be like that guys who are in the gym walking around with a gallon of water everywhere. It's kind of weird. But, yeah, I need more water, definitely.
Okay. Now, besides sugar and sweets, is there anything else that you frequently crave?
I mean, I'm a snacker. So, if we have snacks in the house, they're most likely going to get torn up.
Okay.
because I'm sitting here the whole time. Huh?
What are the go-to snacks? What is typically in the house?
I mean, we bought fruits and things like that. Those disappear pretty fast. First wave, so to speak. And then there's just things left over. So if like there's crackers or like I'll actually take cereal and put it in a bowl and eat that, as a snack, so to speak.
Okay. Let's see. So one of the last questions, it's what is your eating style? Would you say you're a fast eater, an emotional eater, a late night eater, dislikes healthy food, do not plan meals, rely on convenience items, any of those?
All of the above.
All of the above. Okay. Okay. So that concludes the assessment for nutrition. As I mentioned to you in our conversations prior, I'm going to have you use the app, our Healthy app. It's an electric health record. And you have the option to take pictures of your meals. Yes, that one. So starting, I guess it would be Monday, I want you to start taking pictures of all your meals, anything that you eat. Again, no judgment. I just want to have an idea of what you eat. And that way I can kind of get a pattern of your eating habits, what you like, and then I can create you a meal plan. Okay. So that's going to be starting for, I guess we can start Monday. How do you feel about that?
Probably tomorrow. I kind of wanted to do the majority. Like I wanted to start this weekend, which is why we're recording, the assessment on since we're recording the assessment on a Saturday. I wanted to kind of start this weekend, so I was probably going to go with probably start tomorrow, which is Sunday.
That works.
And then that way I can kind of have like a full week's journey of it, from like Sunday to Sunday. And then, or at least if there's any adjustments, we adjust on the Sunday, so to speak, from whenever the next, meeting is. Okay.
So in the app, you're going to see options like, how did you feel after you ate this meal? Were you actually hungry? It'll ask you, did you drink water? Did you have a bowel movement? So you can use that to your advantage because that's only going to help. Again, it's going to help us to create your plan. So as much as you can, utilize the app. Usually what I'll do is if I see you logged your picture, it's kind of like Instagram. You'll see a little like thumbs up. You'll see a like. If there's something I want to say.
Oh, we're doing this for likes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you'll see like a comment or anything on that. And then you can also chat in that app as well.
Okay.
So any questions as far as what you'll be doing next?
The next process is going to be, for the most part, assessing everything that I've recorded for this week, right? Mm-hmm. So, and for the people who don't know, the app that you gave me, it's something that's attached specifically for people who are going through a program, or is that something that they can download separately on their own and use it as an independent app?
Yes, okay. It's for a program. So a lot of healthcare practitioners use this because it is an electronic health record. So we're able to keep your information safe. It has a lot of variety. So like social workers can use it, different practitioners.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. So for people who don't know, when you sign up, you'll get this app, you'll get an introduction, and all of your sessions are scheduled. They show up there. It has a journal, which is kind of like interesting for you to be able to keep track of all of your thoughts and everything that you're doing. It does have a water icon, an activity log. So, and it has things for you guys to like set certain goals. And I don't mean like set goals like I want to lose 50 million pounds in one day, but even just simple things like, how much water you intake and, just small steps. I want to walk 15 minutes, things of that nature. So it's actually really cool that it even comes with the program.
Yeah, you can actually link like your Fitbit or your Apple Health to the app. And that I didn't know. Steps you're doing. So I did give you the permissions for that. So if you have any of those apps, you can link them and I'll be able to see your sleep, your physical activity, anything like that. So that's really convenient.
Okay, so I do have a Fitbit that my son gave me. So what I'll do is I will figure out today how to attach it. My only problem with Fitbit is if I'm driving, if for whatever reason thinks I'm walking, so I have to like take it off. So the other day I think I walked.
Yeah, there is a setting. I remember I was washing dishes and it was like counting all of this as walking. I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah. I'm like, I just drove from, Agora. Well, I was in Agora Hills at the time. I drove from there to, I think it was the Hollywood Bowl. And I think I earth shattered all of my expectations for the entire year because I think I walked like 1 million steps that day. I was really proud until I realized what was going on. I kept track of all of that. So
yeah, good. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to, again, Ryan, our wellness coordinator, and he's going to do his wellness assessment.
All right. Great job. Right. So as far as with the assessment, what I do want to emphasize, and I do with all the clients that I've worked with, is that assessment is always ongoing. So we're documenting information here, and we do our best to kind of make it as comprehensive as possible. So getting all the background information, but sometimes, there's going to be some limitations in that, things that you may forget to include, or, at the beginning of the process, what we find is that clients, we're still building rapport and trust. So we understand that, there might be some things that come up during the course of our program. And as you mentioned, we can always make adjustments. So whether that's related to the food, or any other feedback that we provide related to the wellness component, we're able to do that. And I do want to emphasize that even though it's two separate assessments and there might be some similar questions, at the end of the day, it's all interconnected. So, if we got to think of ourselves as a machine. That's the best analogy I can give, is that we have many different parts that make up the whole. So if one part of that machine is compromised, not performing optimally, then we know it's going to affect the performance in those other areas, which is why our business model is centered around including the nutrition, the wellness, and in the near future, the fitness component as well, as we will, I'm in the course of, getting my certified personal trainer as well. So credential. So I just wanted to kind of preface that before we kind of dive into the second piece. And over the course of the program, we will further define wellness. We'll be identifying your strengths. So every client, every person that comes to us, whether they believe that, they're capable or not, or, I'm just not who I want to be or where I want to be, you still come with certain strengths. And, whether you see it in yourself, hopefully during the course of the program, we're able to support you in identifying that within yourself, because, even yourself, you're a very successful individual. You have your own show and podcast. I mean, you have skills that can translate into other areas. It's just a matter of how we go about using those. So that's the goal here, is relying on what you're already good at doing to bring up these other areas. And then we'll also be talking about that as well. What are those areas of improvement, that we just got to be real about ourselves. That, hey, as we scale it, I'm over here at 10 when it comes to being able to put on, a show and commit myself to it. And I'm very disciplined, and I know my work routine. But when it comes to my nutrition, for whatever reason, it falters, or it's not performing at the same, place I'd like to be at. So we're going to be discussing that. And then also your supports, because that's just as important. I know this is an individual health journey, but more often than not, it's very hard to go about something on our own. It definitely helps to have, someone in our corner. So just like you mentioned earlier with your mom providing, years worth of vitamins, we can joke about it, but at the root of it, we know that she cares, because my mom did the same thing. When we had COVID, I had probably like 10 Ziplocs of pills. And she wrote on there what to take, when to take it, because she wanted me to be well. So, I think that's a big piece of what we're going through and what you'll be going through even with your family. You've already explained that they're trying to demonstrate their support. Your son's saying, okay, I'm going to step up and be the chef and cook a little bit healthier so we're not eating out as much. All of those things help. So I just wanted to, again, preface that before we dive into this, because it's so important that we understand that going into the process. As you said, it's not going to be an overnight thing. We know you have your goal coming up in July that, you just want to look and feel better. But it's going to take, time, and we have some time to do that. Even though the program with us is only 6 weeks, what we kind of center ourselves around is that we're making sustainable changes. So that way, when we exit, you don't, kind of backslide or relapse, however you want to look at it. And everything goes out the window. So we want to make sure that, again, that you are thinking about your mindset, thinking about your motivation, which can also fluctuate during the course of this journey for you. Because, one day it might be, well, I want to feel better for me. Another day it might be, well, I want to be healthier because I want to, for my family. There's going to be different motivations and influences, and that can fluctuate for anybody, as it has even, for us, and that's the thing about, our services, is that we hold no judgment. At the end of the day, we're all human. And that is where we kind of center ourselves around. So, we will be discussing this in our subsequent sessions. So today I'm just going to be, again, asking you some, questions. These are going to kind of be a yes and no responses in the different areas of wellness that we'll be discussing. So we're going to be looking at the physical wellness, emotional wellness, intellectual wellness, spiritual wellness, and social wellness. So those are the kind of like the core areas that we're going to be identifying. You'll be having 2 independent sessions with me. We'll be alternating, between the weeks with our RDN, my wife, Izell. And so, I'll be able to do those check-ins with you on the off weeks to kind of see how things are going. Because again, when we think about food and how we go about consuming that, a lot of it is driven by our mentality, our approach. So we do want to address these other areas as well. So the first area that we're going to look into is physical wellness. It's just a yes and no, or if you identify with the statement. So I exercise aerobically, so vigorous or continuous exercise for 20 to 30 minutes at least 3 times a week.
No.
I eat fresh fruits, vegetables, and whole grains each day.
No.
I avoid tobacco products.
Yes.
I avoid drinking caffeinated and sugary beverages.
No.
I get an adequate amount of sleep, 7 to 9 hours a night.
No.
I brush my teeth at least twice daily and floss at least once.
Brush my teeth twice, probably. Yes. Not the floss.
Okay. I use stress management.
I guess that would be no, I guess, depending on the...
Yeah. I use stress management techniques that help me to stay calm and relaxed.
No, because I don't know what those are.
So we're going to be going to the emotional section. I accept responsibility for my actions.
Yes.
I see challenges and change as opportunities for growth.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I believe that I have considerable control over my life.
Yes.
I am able to laugh at life and at myself.
Yeah.
I think we all know the Latin Babbler.
We all can attest to that.
I feel good about myself.
I'm going to say no.
I am able to appropriately cope with stress and tension.
Elaborate.
So cope would be something that helps you to get through a situation, knowing that maybe it's not going to change the situation, but it helps you to feel better in the moment, to be able to move forward with whatever it is that you need to do, right? Which could be just moving through your day. Sometimes when we get, a hiccup happens during the day, or we get triggered by something that puts us in a space of anger or, anxiety, whatever that may be for you. Do you have anything that helps you to cope? Meaning to, again, help you just to kind of come back to center, to ground you.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's Starbucks.
Starbucks. Okay.
So not exactly a good coping mechanism, but I guess it's not so much the Starbucks, but the getting out. I think it's more just going out for the ride. It's probably the thing that kind of like alleviates a lot of that, because it allows me to kind of refresh and think better.
Okay. I make time for leisure pursuits.
Seldom, but probably no.
Okay. I am able to recognize my personal shortcomings and learn from my mistakes.
I've done that for 14 years.
I am able to recognize and express my feelings.
Yes, I think that's one of the things that we kind of try to do in the house. So even if I express them in the wrong way, I'm at least trying to open up about what's bothering me. It may come out like a couple hours later, but it'll definitely come out.
Okay. I enjoy each day.
As complicated as this question may be, I would have to say yes, mainly because I enjoy what I do. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go on to the intellectual section. I make an effort to learn new things.
Definitely.
I try to keep on top of current affairs, locally, nationally, internationally.
Yes, it's not an option for me.
Yeah, you got to keep your ear to the street.
So,
I listen to lectures, plays, and musical performances in person or online.
yes.
I do creative and stimulating mental activities and games.
Not games, but I mean, most of the things that I do, whether it's creative arts or anything like that, is in that category.
Okay. I read daily, whether it be the newspaper, internet, magazines, or books.
Yes.
I practice something every week to improve my skills and use my gifts.
Yes.
I engage in intellectual discussions.
Yes.
I look up things that I don't know.
Definitely.
I ask questions to learn from others.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're going to go on to spiritual domain. I can name my own personal values and describe my beliefs about life.
Yes.
Life is meaningful for me, and I feel a purpose in life.
Yes.
I try to learn about others' beliefs and values, especially those that differ from my own.
Yeah.
I use prayer, meditation, and or quiet personal reflection regularly in my life.
I do. A lot of people don't know it, but I do.
Life is meaningful for me, and I feel a purpose in life.
Yes.
I try to learn about, I have a strong sense of optimism and faith in the future.
I do. I'm always pursuing for the best part of it, so.
I use my thoughts and attitudes in life-affirming ways.
Yes.
I appreciate the
To a
natural
fault.
forces. Okay. I appreciate the natural forces that exist in the universe.
That's a complicated question. Elaborate.
So kind of this, it's bigger than what we see, kind of the way I understand that and kind of think about that is Mother Earth, right? Like there's all this creation. We think about science and all of that, but it's sometimes it's bigger than science. It's we can't quite.
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. I feel gratitude for the good things in my life.
Very much so, especially not coming from where I came from. Definitely.
And this is the last domain, which will complete the assessment. This is the social component. So I have a network of friends and or family.
I do now. Didn't always, but I do now. Yeah.
I contribute time and or money to social and community projects or causes.
I would have to say yes, because this is a whole community project, even that we're doing right now. So.
Okay. I regularly spend time with people I like.
I'm going to say no. I don't have the physical interaction on a regular basis with the people that I like.
I am a compassionate person and try to help others when I can.
True, yeah.
I have a sense of belonging within my community.
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, I would hope so. I'm going to say yes, only because of my own perception. This is really not based on me, though. So it would depend on how people are receiving me. So.
Well, again, it's subjective, right? It's your self-perception. So
yeah,
you feel a sense of belonging and connected to your community.
I mean, I feel like I do. I do have a connection with my community. I feel like I belong, like I'm a part of it. Okay. So that's my perception, yeah.
Okay. I can give and receive compliments graciously.
Yes.
I communicate with and get along with a wide variety of people.
I do, yeah.
I am interested in others, including those with backgrounds that are different from my own.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that wraps up the wellness component of our assessment. Wasn't too bad, right?
No, it wasn't bad. I mean, after this, I'm going to have to, try to see all my DMs that people are going to slide into. No, I'm just kidding. No, but this is actually great. I actually, it's a lot more comfortable than I thought it was going to be. There are some questions there that were pretty difficult because you just have to kind of like where you're coming from on the, aspect of it and how much people are willing to share on an everyday basis with the entire plateau, so to speak. But for the most part, it was pretty comfortable, at least for me.
Yeah.
So not everybody's going to be recording their sessions and posting them out loud. So
yeah, exactly. We're able to do this on a more. I mean, I would say this is personable.
Yeah.
Right now, but yeah, for any client listening in, interested in services, it would look a little bit different. Doing that on a one-on-one basis. And I do want to just commend you as well. You kind of explaining, sharing some things that maybe. You didn't think you were going to share today, or what you will be sharing as we move forward. Because, again, this is not an easy process. To just kind of be vulnerable and let people in. Izell and myself, into your life, right? We're you're going to be giving us information and kind of insight that a lot of people. Well, now they will because we're going to be recording this. They'll be hearing it as well. But, prior to this experience, that a lot of people didn't know, about you, beyond the Latin Babbler, as Rafael. So, I want to just commend you for that and, acknowledge that takes a lot of courage and strength to do. And, again, I'm not just saying that as we go through this, because we are very passionate about the work that we do, in empowering others to make those lifestyle changes. So like I said, we were really excited for the opportunity to support you through that, and what's to come in the near future as we go through this.
Yeah, it's exciting. Only because, you're talking about optimism. For me, the optimism is what I can see of what it's going to, come out of, so to speak, in the future. I fully understand this is not going to be an easy journey or that it's going to be a fast journey. I have certain expectations for me. I'm not trying to look like Jared from Subway. Like that's not my look. So
well, you don't want to be Jared. I think he's locked up somewhere.
I don't want to be Jared for yeah. I meant the look, people. I'm not trying to be Jared at all, so to speak, but I meant the look. So for me, including the exercise aspect of it, now that I'm thinking about it, Jared was probably the wrong example for that. But at least from a physical aspect, like I have my own set goals that I definitely want to reach, as far as, how my clothes fit and things of that. And so, this is the first part of the process because I can't work on those settings without working on the eating side of it and the mental side of it. And so I felt like this was like the perfect start for that process. As I lose weight through this process, I'll be able to kind of go into the other part. And the other thing that I will emphasize is anybody who's listening, please go check them out. It's Nutr.izzy Nutrition at wellnessllc.com. We will post that information with the post that we're going to be sending out. And Nutr.izzy on social media, which is Nutr.izzy. Don't forget the period in between that. And, give them a look, see what their plans are, and, try to take the first step. So just like you're seeing me take the first step here, I'm putting out my personal life on the line so that you guys can at least see what I'm going through and hopefully relate to some of it. If for whatever reason this doesn't do anything for you, then that's fine. Do whatever you think works best for you. But I want to make sure that you guys understand that the only reason we're having these recording sessions and having this process out loud is so that, we can see all the different aspects of what this program would take and all of the different struggles that we as a human being, human race, Latinos, however you want to, associate, are going through, and hopefully you'll find encouragement through that. So these aren't the only videos. There's going to be, 5 more aside from these. And then there's going to be obviously personal videos that I'll be posting based on the instructions that they give me. And if you guys want to add anything to it, to anybody who's listening, by all means, you guys can do that now.
Again, we just want to emphasize that we are there to support our clients in making those incremental, sustainable changes, because that's really what it's all about. And we strive to help. That's really what we want to do. We want to encourage and empower you with tools to reach those health goals.
One foot in front of the other.
Go ahead. Yeah, no kidding. I probably fall sideways if I did that. So be like a bad sobriety test. Just put one foot in front, like, oh shit. But guys, thank you for joining us on this very first edition of I Choose to Be Healthy. And looking forward to the next one. I think the next one is the food assessment aspect of it. So stay tuned to that. This episode will probably air the same day we're actually posting it. Or the same day we're recording it. So you should see it sometime tonight. And that's it. So for any of you guys who are paying attention to the show for the very first time because you decided to see this based on health and wellness, follow us at Latin Babbler Show. You can follow us personally at The Latin Babbler. You can also visit our website, www.latinbabbler.com. Visit our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. And we're out.
Desde Nicaragua hasta Costa Rica, con esta canción todo mundo se identifica. Llamen a los chilenos y a los cubanos, llamen a Puerto Rico y a los mexicanos, que ya se armó la rumba. Desde Panamá hasta Ecuador, vámonos a Perú y luego hasta Salvador. Que se escuche en Brasil y Argentina. Yo quiero un grito de mi gente latina y levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. Yo levantaré mi bandera.